Our next unit is weaving, and we're going to combine a type of relief sculpture with that. And we're going to be working with metal, copper metal. It's a thin piece of metal, and when we get our weaving done, we're going to then attach our metal relief to it. So this is the type of low relief. Now this weaving is a horrible example of a weaving because you wouldn't want to put green on a green warp thread. And this is just an example of how to attach your design to it. You may want a design that is symmetrical, where you split it down the middle, or in this case radial balance, where everything comes out from the middle. You may just want an asymmetrical design where you just draw a design, or you may want it to be symmetrical where you split it down the middle and it's the same on both sides, which again brings you back to radial balance. Okay? So you have choices with your sketch and what you want to do. So what we're going to be doing is what is called a repossue. It's a metal working technique that you use with malleable metal. And malleable means that it's movable, that you can change it and work with it. And you're pushing from the reverse side to create the low relief design. So what I did was you only need one sketch. This was my first sketch, and I didn't like it at all. So I went back and I focused on a asymmetrical design. Now I could have started with radial balance. You're going to have lids like this that you could put over it and mark your center with where that lid is, and then draw off of that radial balance. You can do it where it's symmetrical, but with it being on the round, it's probably better to either do radial balance or something such as this. So I'm going to cut my paper and get that out of the way. And I just realized that I left the tape because I need to have tape, and I'm just going to cut this down. I don't want to cut my circle out just yet because I found that it makes it easier to work with if I leave my circle the way it is. And then you have the choice to trace around your circle, and you're going to need a regular pencil. This is similar to what we did earlier, where you do not want to use a mechanical pencil. So you'll want somewhat of a dull type pencil. They work best because they have a soft point on them. And you can do your tracing with your lid, or we can make patterns, and you're just going to trace that, and you're going to put some pressure as you're working around your circle. You got to put some pressure on it, and that's going to push that metal down to the other side and make an indentation here. Alright, and then you'll start with your technique. So you're going to push down, applying pressure. Again, if you're using a soft leaded pencil, then it's going to make an indentation into your metal. And then well, right now I'm just showing you what it would look like. Hopefully you can see that with the camera. Sometimes it's hard. And I'm going to get my designs on my paper traced off. That's why we're going to tape it down. Just going to roll up a piece of tape and just tape it. And again, I apologize, I left mine. And then I'm going to just trace my design and transfer whatever's on my circle design onto my metal. And then comes the fun part, where you start pushing and pulling up ridges and areas that will be a relief, which means it stands out and creates your design. So we're going to have words like convex, where we're curving out. We're going to have concave, like right here where it's curving in. And we have our pencil along with several different types of tools that you can choose from that are called a stylus. Then you're going to be tooling. That's where you're going to push the metal down and create those convex and concave areas. And then you'll need a pad. It could be a stack of magazines. I have a stack of newspapers here. You can continue with your pencil, and you're just going to come back over your design, and you're going to push down more. And you're going to have to work from both sides. Then you're going to flip it over, and you see this raised area here. This is where you may want to get your tools involved. And you're going to push down. Sometimes it's just best to stick with a pencil. And you're going to go right up against that ridge. And then you're going to come back on the other side of that ridge and you're going to push that down. Okay, and then it's going to leave an indentation here. Remember, this is your concave where it's curving in, and this is your convex where it's raised up. The more pressure you put, the deeper the convex and the concave. And then you're going to work back and forth. Can you see how that's raised up? And then you're going to take your tools and play with it and push down your metal, and at the same time what that's going to do is that's going to raise that surface up. Is there too much of a glare? Alright, so what do you want me to do? Can you see it now? Are you focused in?